What happens if you disappear for 30 days? Now, if you answered 0 new clients coming in, frantic messages from my team, or total chaos, then you are the system. And that makes you the ultimate bottleneck. Every decision, every action, every win in your business is tied directly to you. And sure, at the beginning, it feels manageable. You thrive under pressure. You know your business better than anyone else, and you've created results, so you know it's going to work until you realize that the entire system that drives success lives in your head. It's tied to you. No downtime, no margin for error, no life outside the business. And I can guarantee you didn't start this business just to chain yourself to it. So let's get real. What you actually wanted was a business that runs smoothly, whether you're on calls or on vacation. And you want clients coming in consistently without you manually driving demand. And you want a team who doesn't just need you for answers, but one that's empowered by clear systems. And you want clients who get consistent results without constant handholding. And you want the freedom to focus on the vision, the strategy, the parts of the business that only you can do. And you want sustainable growth that compounds instead of constantly resetting, because you don't actually want more clients, more hours, more hustle. That was never actually the goal. What you really want is compounding growth and the freedom that allows you to actually enjoy it. And the cost of not having those right systems means that every hire that you bring on creates more chaos instead of freedom. So when you don't have the right systems, you can't delegate properly. Tasks are getting handed off, but the decision making still comes back to you. So people don't run the business, you do. And the business only exists if the business owner's brain, which means if you're out, the business is out. If it's like you trying to store millions of dollars in a safe, but you're the only one with the combination, the entire operation is locked to you. And you get inconsistent results where when there's no system, results become unpredictable. One client gets an incredible experience and the next is getting a watered down version. It's like going to a restaurant that never makes the same dish twice. One night it's perfect, the next it's bland or missing half the ingredients. Without consistency, your trust is eroding quickly. And every new client feels like a win until you realize it's just costing you more of your time, more onboarding, more delivery, more late nights, because there's no structure to absorb that growth. And because everything depends on you, nothing ever compounds. You're not building momentum. You're just resetting that hamster wheel every single day, and it makes you slowly want to lose your mind. And let's be real, this isn't just a business problem. It creeps into your life. Vacations aren't vacations. Family time is interrupted, and no matter how much you grow, you're never really free. See, it creates this illusion of scaling because while your business might look like it's growing on paper, silently your freedom, your energy, your ability to actually enjoy the fruits of your labor are being sacrificed every single day. Now, the big lie that most business owners fall for is that if you just hire more people, document a few SOPs, or automate a couple of processes, you'll finally scale and get your freedom back. But we all know that's not true, and here's why. When you hire more people and delegate, those hands don't automatically mean more freedom. So without your IP guiding decisions, every new hire just multiplies chaos. It's like adding more cooks to a kitchen without a recipe. They all mean well, but the dish never comes out the same, and nobody wants to come to a restaurant where one day the lasagna is better than your grandma's, and the next day you can't take more than 5 bites without spitting it out. More hands without the right system means you've just created more moving parts that still orbit around you. And SOPs, they give instructions, but they don't carry your way of thinking. They tell your team what to do, not why, not how to make decisions. So every tweak, every new client, every pivot means you have to rewrite, retrain, and recreate back to square one. It's like writing a manual for a video game that changes levels constantly. No matter how detailed, it's obsolete as soon as the game shifts. And automation is seductive, but automation is a broken, founder-dependent process, is just scaling the bottleneck. You're scaling inefficiency instead of scaling your expertise. See, without the IP that guides the system, the bottleneck moves faster. It doesn't disappear. It's like putting a turbo engine on a car with no steering. Sure, you go faster, but you're still going to crash and burn. So sure, all these standard fixes like team, SOPs, and automation, they sound great on paper until you realize they still revolve around around you. Nothing compounds. Every tweak, every change, every growth spurt resets the system unless the business is anchored into your IP. Think about it. McDonald's doesn't rely on rock star chefs in every store, and Starbucks doesn't rely on a founder to handcraft every latte. They rely on IP, a system that carries the brand, the decisions, the results without dependence on you. So right now, your expertise lives in your head, and every hire, every process, every tool orbits around you. Now, the IP asset is the control center, the brain of the operations that guides every move. It multiplies your results and it lets your business run itself. So it's kind of like using your head as the hard drive for your company. Once it's full, nothing else can be stored and everything starts to slow down. That's why the answer to a business that grows without you isn't just effort or systems. It's an IP asset that guides every decision and multiplies those results for you, turning your system into your silent business partner. Your IP asset system is what's going to carry your innovative method to every single piece of your business. So what exactly is an IP asset system? It's your expertise captured, codified, and structured in a way that can run your business without you. It's that control center that's going to guide every decision, every process, and every interaction. So the business grows, scales, and compounds results while you focus on the big picture or take a real vacation for once. And it acts like your silent business partner who never sleeps. Think of it like the central nervous system in a body. Every limb and organ and cell knows what to do because the brain sends the signals. Without it, the body flails. With it, everything moves in sync with purpose and precision. Now, your IP asset is the brain. It tells the systems what to do in real time. So let's look at what this looks like in different areas of your business, starting with client acquisition. This is where leads can self-qualify. Your value innovation is so clear up front that your clients are actually convincing themselves. Your sales team knows exactly how to take people through a self-selling process. So they're only inviting best fit clients and they're closing 70 to 90% of their calls, and objections are handled before your clients even think of them. And in operations, it decides how tasks are prioritized, what approvals are needed, and what can run autonomously. And in delivery, it ensures that every client experience hits the same high standard without you personally intervening, creating happy clients every time. And at scale, your IP asset doesn't just run the business, it becomes the brain, the radar system that identifies new opportunities, informing what markets or offerings that you can expand into. And it points your team towards the moves that compound growth. So you're no longer the sole source of ideas or vision, and growth isn't just more work for you. So think of it kind of like IKEA. There's no single designer or manager that's recreating every store layout or sales process. Instead, the product designs, the store manuals, the training systems, they're all embedded inside of the organization's expertise in a repeatable IP asset. So with 400 stores worldwide, each location delivers the same experience. Employees know exactly how to execute, and the business scales efficiently without relying on any one person. An IP asset system does the same thing in your business. It codifies your expertise so your brain runs the business for you, becoming a silent business partner that works 24/7 while you vacation, while you spend time with your family, or you write your next best-selling book. An IP asset is the blueprint and the architect's brain. It doesn't just tell people what to do. It tells them how to think, how to make decisions, and how to move the business forward, even when you're not in the room. This is exactly what I help my clients do. Take their invisible expertise and turn it into a tangible, bingeable, scalable IP asset. So let's break down the formula behind the engine and the brain that runs your business when you're not in the room. Now, the IP asset system is built on two core pieces. The first is codifying your expertise. This step is simple and brutal. Now, most businesses that are running on SOPs and tribal knowledge realize that that might work when you're small, but the moment you try to scale, it collapses. And SOPs tell you what to do, but never the why. So it's kind of like IKEA instructions. They'll show you where the screws go, but not why the table was designed that way in the first place. So when something doesn't fit, your team gets stuck. They second guess or they call you in to fix it. The codification of your innovative methodology is the map that explains why you do what you do and how that thinking produces outcomes. It doesn't just instruct it, it reasons it. So it's not a checklist. It's the logic, the principles, the decision rules, the cut points, the unique way that you turn inputs into results even when you're not in the room. So a great example is my client is running a 7-figure consulting firm. Now, they were spending months trying to train people up and getting mixed results. They were convinced that they just couldn't find the right skilled people. But what I found was that they had SOPs for everything except how to think like the founder. Now, after I codified their methodology, recording calls, mapping decision patterns, pulling out the logic behind the wins, new hires started outperforming the founder himself. Now, within 2 months, he was able to stop answering every email, stop creating every campaign idea, and actually take a 2-week vacation without even checking in. This wasn't luck, that's codification. So let me give you a few examples so you can see this at work. Take leadership consulting. The rule is simple. Every leadership breakdown comes from one of 3 gaps: clarity, accountability, and communication. So we codified that into what I call the CAC diagnostic. Now, instead of needing the founder on every call, consultants can just run the diagnostic, spot the gap, and they know exactly what tool to use. And the outcome, clients get the same quality results no matter who's delivering it. Or look at a marketing agency. What we realized was that their rule was that no campaign gets approved unless it passes 3 filters: message to market match, emotional driver, and what I call the bingeability factor. So we turned that into their triple M framework. And the result, that even their junior team members can now run campaigns that filter and create winners. No more endless trial and error, no more wasting ad spend or waiting for the founder's approval. Now, here's another, a therapy practice. Now, their insight was that healing always follows the same sequence. It starts with regulating the nervous system, reframing core stories, and then rebuilding new patterns. We turned that into what we now call their R3 method. And now, instead of clients relying on the founder's intuition, every practitioner can guide clients through the same process and deliver predictable breakthroughs. So here's the questions I want you to start asking yourself out loud. If a new hire started tomorrow, could they succeed using only your written method? And next is, which 3 decisions in your business can only you make right now? And when's the last time you extracted a small but repeatable rule from your business? This is what allows you to turn the stuff in your head into something others can use reliably, repeatedly, and without calling you. And it's how you can create a 24/7 silent business partner that works harder than you do. Now, codification isn't just about freedom, it's about value. McKinsey recently found that companies who embed expertise into codified methodologies scale faster and get valuations up to 5 times higher. Why? Because the business no longer depends on one single brain. The growth engine runs independently. That's the power of codification, turning invisible expertise into a tangible, repeatable asset that compounds whether you're in the room or not. So if step 1 is codifying your expertise into your innovation gap methodology, that's the what. It's the DNA of your business, the logic that explains why things work and not just what steps to follow. But DNA on its own is only code. It needs a body to actually come to life. That's where step 2 comes in, and it's what I call the growth playbook. Think of the growth playbook as the operating system that runs your methodology across every area of your business, ensuring that your IP asset isn't just knowledge, it's this living, breathing execution that's compounding those results. So if your codified methodology is the blueprint, your growth playbook is the construction crew that's actually building that house. So let me show you what this looks like in practice. So in delivery, your playbook turns your methodology into a step-by-step client pathway. So a new coach, a new consultant on your team can actually pick it up and run a session that produces the same breakthroughs that you would. No more thinking that only the founder can handle hard clients. Or if you're running your delivery yourself, that means you're able to streamline results for your clients, ensuring that it's not a hit or miss success process. It's damn near guaranteed. And in marketing, it translates your principles into campaigns. For example, if your methodology says that every message has to pass through a bingeability filter, your marketing assistant now knows exactly what to check if a post or ad meets that standard. So for our clients, they know exactly how their codified IP translate inside every touch point in marketing. No more guessing, just a repeatable success that doesn't monopolize on their time. So say goodbye to chasing new marketing every other week. Now in sales, it gives the team the conversational playbooks. Instead of trying to mimic your style, they can follow proven workflows that align with your methodology. So they're not guessing how to close, they're applying a system that's already battle tested. And in strategy, it creates and filters your opportunities. So if a new offer or partnership doesn't align with the rules of your methodology, it doesn't make the playbook. That saves you from shiny object syndrome and keeps growth compounding instead of scattered. And it opens up expansion opportunities that don't rely on you running them, because Once your IP is codified and executed through a growth playbook, it's no longer your way of doing things. It becomes a scalable asset. Now your IP can power licensing programs, certifications, corporate workshops, training academies, or even a book that cements your authority. You're not stuck as the bottleneck. Your expertise is now transferable and it scales beyond you. That's how you go from successful founder to category leader. I want you to think about it this way. The growth playbook is your business's rule of the game. If your methodology is the sport of basketball, the playbook is the coach's binder. The set plays, the defensive schemes, the offensive strategies that let the team actually win games. And why that's so wild is when you have a growth playbook, people on your team often end up outperforming you. Why? Because they're not trying to invent on the fly. They're following your proven system with clarity while you as the founder used to be juggling it all in your head. So I'll give you a real example. One of my clients had a brilliant methodology for helping leaders improve team culture, but every consultant on their staff delivered it differently. Some skipped steps, some others complicated things. Results were kind of inconsistent, and the founder had to step in constantly. So we built their growth playbook. We codified their methodology into session flows and diagnostic tools and decision rules. Now, within 60 days, consultants were not only delivering consistent results, but clients were reporting faster culture shifts than ever before. The founder sent me a message saying, I feel like I finally cloned myself, except for the clones are actually better. That's the power of the growth playbook. It takes your DNA and it gives it a body. It turns your codified IP and makes it usable, transferable, and actionable in every corner of your business. Now, without it, your methodology just sits on a shelf like a book nobody opens. With it, your entire company runs like a championship team where every player knows the play, runs the system, wins together, even when you're not the one calling the shots. Now, let's make this real for you. I want you to ask yourself, if I disappeared for 2 weeks, what part of my business would come to a standstill? Where are my people asking me, what do I do here instead of following a clear system? And what opportunities have I said yes to that ended up distracting us because there wasn't a filter to decide if it aligned? If you're nodding along, that's your business begging for a growth playbook. So click the link in the description to book your call so I can show you how we can help you codify your IP and create a growth playbook that clones you. Because scaling isn't about doing more. It's about multiplying smarter, and your growth playbook is the multiplier. So let's zoom out for a second. Step 1 was about codifying your expertise with your innovative gap methodology. That's the DNA, the brain, the unique way that you create results. Now, step 2 was about building a growth playbook, the operating system that takes that DNA and runs it across every part of your business. Together, that's what's making up the IP asset system, your silent business partner that guides decisions, multiplies results, and scales your business beyond you and works 24/7. Now, here's where it gets exciting. This isn't a standalone tool. The IP asset system is actually one of the core pillars inside of my larger framework, the EasyS method. The EasyS method is what takes an expert business from being just another option in the market to being the only choice. Now, the first step is what we call innovation gap methodology. This is where we extract your expertise and turn it into your innovative advantage. Because in today's market, being better just doesn't win. Being the only choice does. Your methodology is what makes your work undeniable and shows your unique way of producing results and instantly elevates you to the category leader in your space. Now, we do this by pinpointing the market gaps that your high intent buyers are desperately seeking a solution to and positioning your methodology as the only solution to those gaps. It turns you into the only option that premium buyers come running to, and it's the entire foundation of your IP asset. Now, the second step is actually creating the magic behind it. This is where we take your methodology, codify it into a system that runs your business like that silent business partner. This is where we apply it directly to client acquisition through what I call the bingeable decision system. I want you to think Netflix meets sales. Your prospects can binge their way through your IP. They see the value stacked in your method and they come to you already sold. No chasing, no convincing, just clients eager and ready to invest in you. And once they're in, the system ensures that they get world-class results at scale using a delivery system that we call the happy client machine. Your delivery now becomes streamlined, repeatable, and even more impactful, which means clients stick around longer, they send referrals, and essentially they become your best sales team. That's the EasyS method, your innovative advantage, your IP running client acquisition on autopilot, and a client delivery system that compounds results and loyalty. And if you put it all together, you've got a business that grows easier, faster, and without everything sitting on your shoulders. And here's the thing, most experts will never put this in place. And that's why they plateau or burn out while they're chasing their next client. But you don't have to. You can build this system right now and watch as your business transforms into one that attracts premium clients, scales without you, and turns every maybe into an easy yes. So if you're listening right now and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need, my business can't keep depending on me to hold it all together, then I want to invite you to book your growth optimization call. On that call, I'm going to pinpoint for you where your growth points are and how to develop your innovative advantage so we can apply that inside of your own bingeable IP asset system. So book your call right now by heading on over to easyesleads.com/call or click the link inside of the description. But if you want to see IP assets in action and how we use this 3-step process to codify your IP into a self-selling 24/7 silent business partner, then go binge the Netflix effect right now and see how you can get your leads to sell themselves in under 48 hours. Head on over to thenetflixeffect.com now. Now, of course, if you found this episode valuable, I would love and appreciate if you could take 60 seconds to rate, review, or share it with a friend, because it helps us get more founders turning their methodology into a movement. But until next time, here's to keeping it real.